How's it going, everybody? And welcome to another session of the Let's Talk Show by Interlingua. My name is Mike, and I am your host for this occasion. Welcome. And changes. Exactly. That's what we're going to cover today. Has there been a change in your life that you were long expecting and it finally happened? Be sure to tell me about it. But on the other hand, has there been a change in your life that totally transformed it? Some changes may come with the blink of an eye. Some changes might actually define our situation for years to come. And some changes we are rooting for and fighting for to happen. Be sure to participate in the comment section to tell me and write, what is your situation about changes? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you look forward to experience them? Or you just go with the flow? Our participants or guests in this occasion have a very different experience with changes. Some of them have been taken very, very kindly. Some of them have received a little bit of pushback, and some of them have defined their current situation. But without further ado, let's bring them out. Today, coming back to the Let's Talk Show, we have Carmen and Danny. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Hi, me.
Hi, good to see all of you. Welcome back, and thank you so much for participating.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
You're always welcome.
Happy to meet you.
Always. Yay. So, let's talk a little bit about changes in the surface. The most common thing. What do you feel about changes in general? Are you open to them? Do you hate them? Maybe you are a person who looks forward to be in change constantly, or maybe you are a person who just likes everything to go in a straight line. Which one are you, Danny?
Well, I think changes are just a part of life. It's just, they have to happen and they never stop. There is constant change in everything we do and in everyday life. There's always something changing. I consider myself a little bit of a creature of habit. I like to be in my comfort zone and I like to stick to what I usually do. But I don't think I have a problem with changes because most of them, I think they help you learn and they help you grow as an individual, as a professional, etc. So that's how I feel about them. They're just there and you can't avoid them. They're there to help you grow, sometimes gently and sometimes not so much, but it's still what it is.
Alrighty. What about you, Carmen? What can you tell me?
I think I like change, I mean, I actually get kind of bored when everything is the same for a long time, but I feel like it's better to have one change at a time, or one big change at a time. It's when I have maybe 2 or 3 or more important changes in my life at the same time when I freak out, Otherwise, I don't normally have a lot of trouble with change. No, it's like, yes, I mean, I like it. I don't have any problem with it, but I prefer to have some space between.
Sure. Alrighty. Speaking of that, speaking of having some spaces between changes, we're almost 3 decades into this century. Doesn't seem that much, but there has been significant changes throughout these years. I'm even tempted to say that things, society, the world, the way we live in, what we see every day hasn't stopped changing a bit. What is your perspective on this? Do you think it's for the better? Do you find it overwhelming? Are you having trouble adapting and processing everything? Danny.
I don't think changes are always for the better. I mean, some changes are losses, unfortunate losses. Some changes are, I don't know, moving to a different place that you don't like, or moving in with someone you don't want to be with. So, no, I don't think changes are always for the best. But as I said, things happen for a reason. There's constant change, and you have to learn to adapt. You have to learn to live with what happens to you, what you're facing, when you don't decide on those changes, right? When you don't have a call. When you decide, it's your call. When you make the decision to change something, well, yeah, it's usually because you think it's for the better, right? But I guess that over the last few years, not over the beginning of the century even, I mean, we have a pandemic that changed people's lives entirely in all sorts of areas, relationships, socializing, even hygiene. If you weren't clean before, you had to wash your hands more often than you wanted, probably. Yeah, I mean, changes have happened drastically over the last 4 years, no, 3-4 years. So yeah, I think not always for the better, but they're there.
What about you, Carmen?
Well, I think your question made me think about like social change, no? Like, because I think that also probably my social circle has changed, no? But I feel like now, for example, the society sees in a different way. For example, the community, no? People from different countries and from different places, the acceptance of, for example, homosexual adoption, no, many things that I think have changed for the better, no? Like, I think in general, people are trying to be more aware of what their words can hurt, no, or the damage they can do. Also, the way people are raising children now, no, like many things. I think that in general, society, well, of course, there are many exceptions, no, more than we can imagine. But at least I think that many people are trying to learn to respect other people, no matter who or how they are. And I really think that could make the world a better place, like one of these days, no? And I mean, because I have seen a lot of change around me in the last maybe 5 years, no? Also, I think it had more impact with the pandemic, no? Because everybody was like so online and so connected to situations, and like we had more time to see other people, maybe, no, like not to see literally, like physically. It's not like observing them through a screen, no, and knowing what was happening in other places. So yes, I think that will be good at some point of history,
Let's cross our fingers and hope that happens for the sake of everyone.
Yes, also
You mentioned time goes by, sometimes slowly, sometimes really fast. Meanwhile, we all get to experience different things, and you two aren't the exception. Danny, you mentioned me before the show that you have gone through some recent changes. Could you mention some?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I am a mother of two, and I used to work at a place where it was a requirement to have a certain level of education that I didn't, but I managed to become part of the work of the job. I was hired, I was accepted, I was taken in, but I never did anything to fulfill the requirement. I I hadn't even finished high school, to be very honest. And then and in my company, they never demanded, they never threatened or anything if I didn't have it. So I thought, if there's no need, then or right. But well, as I said, I became a mom like almost 12 years ago, and I started thinking, maybe I should do something about being a good example for my kids. In that time, for my little girl. I put it off anyways, and then pandemic hit, and my company was severely affected by this, as many others. But then I started thinking and panicking, basically, because I was not a 20-year-old anymore. And I thought, if my company disappears, what am I going to do? So I thought, I think it's time. I was, nobody could leave. I was at home, and so I decided to take a course to get the high school diploma in just one test. So I took a course to get ready for that test. I took the test. I passed it. Then I have no papers. I have no sort of certification, and it was just coincidence. I was visiting an uncle, and I saw he had a book for a teacher, and he was not a teacher or interested in an English teacher. So I asked him, why is this here in your bookshelf? And he said, I was thinking about becoming an economics teacher at a university, but then I found out that this book is really for English teachers. I said, yeah, well, it is. He said, keep it. Why don't you keep it and use it? I don't know if you want to ever get a certification. And it was just about that time that I was thinking about doing something about getting certified. And so I took the book. I prepared myself for the test. I self-studied with the book. I took the test. I got a certification as a teacher. And then I was very excited, I was not that young anymore, but I realized that I was still good at academic stuff. And so I got carried away, and my husband supported me and said, hey, why don't you give it a go and go for a major? So I said, because I'm a mom, and I moved at home. I have a lot of things to do. I don't think about enough time. People know I'll help you out with whatever you need. So I looked for majors that were in the open system at UNAM, and I found English literature as an option. And I thought, well, I speak English. I like to read. Let's give it a try. And I'm about to start my third semester now. I just finished first year. And it's not easy. It hasn't been easy because my younger kid is not a star at school. So I have to spend quite some time in the afternoon helping him out with homework, with whatever he missed from school. So I usually do my own school stuff at night, very late at night, by the way. But it was a huge change because now I had to organize my time, stop doing things that I did before I I studied before I started studying, such as playing video games, for example. I would spend hours counting hours. Online production is a witness of how long I used to spend on playing video games, especially Guitar Hero. It was a video game that I really enjoyed. And I would spend hours literally playing that video game until changed and I focused on other things. I don't play that anymore. I haven't played it in years. And I guess that was a big change becoming a student. Now my children see me working at night sometimes and they go like, "What are you doing, mommy?" "Well, I'm writing an essay." "What is it?" Kind of they see that I'm reading and I'm using the computer for long periods of time, and that makes me feel good. I think I'm sending a message. They may not get it right away, but I think kids imitate what they see. So I think that's a good change I made. As I said, the pandemic affected my company, and I was having very few classes. My kids were taking online classes in the morning, so it was not very easy for me to be available to work full time as a teacher, what I was doing. And so I decided to quit, to focus on my kids, on my major. And I'm giving also very, very few private classes because, to be very honest, it's a little bit more profitable than what I was making at this other place. So some changes.
Glad to hear that everything is working out.
Yeah, thank you.
Go for it. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Hang in there. Hang in there. You mentioned something that also relates to Carmen in some sort of way, which is motherhood. Carmen, as I understand, recently the relationship with your mother has changed quite a bit. How was it originally, and how would you define it nowadays?
I think, of course, when I was a kid, my relationship with my mom was everything, my mom is a single mom, so yes, it's like she was everything, everything. And then when I turned 13, I think, something like that, I think it was probably later, like when I was 15 or 16. I suppose it was just like the age, because I was like a teenager, and also I have a twin sister, so there were two teenagers, in the house, like at the same time and everything. So for many years, my relationship with her was complicated, we used to argue a lot. Like I don't know. Nowadays, it's even like kind of sad to think about it, because I feel like I have wasted many years with feelings that were not positive, like, yes, like, well, I now I really think that it was just like the age. Many things were happening in that moment. But yeah, and then, for example, 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago, I moved out of her house. I started living like on my own. I probably, if somebody has watched other videos, they know it. But anyways, and I think that in that moment, my relationship with my mom started to change. Because I only saw her on weekends or on holidays or things like that. But anyways, I could notice that probably it was not the best, Like, for example, for me, it used to be super stressing to stay with her more than 24 hours, Like, if I spent 24 hours, 30 hours with them, because I am talking about my family in general, my mom, my sister, my brother, everything. It was kind of stressing, I mean, I have always loved them very, very much. And for example, it's like the meme, no? Because it was like, if I complained about my family with somebody, it was okay. If anyone says anything like about them, no, I would like kill them, no? And because, yes, like they're my family and I love them very much. But I don't know why, recently, probably in the last 2 months, I don't know, I have started to feel different, Like, for example, I remember very much, like, a month ago or something, I went, like, 3 days in 2 different weeks to see my mom, like, during the week. And I went with her to do her job, or ate at her house, or I one day invited my sister and my mom to eat at my place, and several things like that, like, yes, I don't know. It's something like I cannot really explain. No, like I had this called mamitis. No, like I wanted to be around my mom as much as possible. No? But it was, I don't know. It was a new feeling, and I think it was also like the best that could have happened, because destiny for many things that happened in the last weeks. I am temporarily living with my mom again, so it's like I'm so glad. I feel much better about her, like now, because otherwise I wouldn't be having a good time, but I really think it was mostly my sisters and my fault, because I see my mom and I think that probably she hasn't changed that much, no? But we have, no? Like, or, yes, I don't know. It's like, I remember that before when something happens at home, no? Like my mom my sister and I used to, like, criticize him, like about decisions she took and everything. And now I feel like so stupid now, because it's like, dude, she's your mom. She's just trying to do what she thinks is best for the family, no? And maybe some things were probably not the best for the family, but were the best for her, no? And she also matters. I don't know if you've seen these videos of mothers who give their lives to their kids, and I never wanted my mom to do that, because it's like eventually I'm going to go to my own place, and I did. And I don't want you to stay here, like with some kind of empty feeling, like what do I do now, So yes, I think it's only that. I really regret many things I did in the past, but I'm glad that it's been different.
Well, this turned out to be more touching than I expected. Which I thank you, both of you. I thank you for everything that you have shared with us. And I'm glad to hear that the changes that are happening currently in your respective lives are turning out for the better. And before I get a little bit more emotional, let's go into the rapid fire section before we wrap things up. Let's finish this with a bang. And our traditional rapid fire session. Number 1. Tell me a change you are most grateful for. Danny.
Motherhood.
Carmen.
I think moving to a new place. Not to my place, like many years ago, to Puebla. I'm currently living in Puebla. I'm glad for that.
All right. What is a change that caught you off guard, by surprise? Danny.
Definitely pandemic.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. Carmen?
I think I'm going to steal that answer.
Okay. All right. If you could change something about your present with the snap of fingers, what would it be, Danny?
So we have to do this quickly? No, that's too soon. It's too much pressure on me. Take it easy, Mike. I don't know. If I could change one thing, I would change being able to calm down, to relax a little, because I think I'm too stressed out. I'm a little bit of a neurotic mom, and I would like to change that. I would like to be cooler, if you know what I mean.
I get you. I
Yeah.
get you. What about you, Carmen?
Mm, I don't know. On first thoughts, I think I would like to be able to come back to my mom's house like forever. No, I mean not forever, but
Okay.
like for for more years. I sometimes I wish I hadn't gone out. Like yes, I wish I could.
Okay.
So if I could change one thing, that would probably be it. Like I would like to be able to stay more time. But if I did that, I would have to give many things I care about. So it's like something that cannot be undone now.
Okay. And finally, what is a change yet to come that you are really looking forward to, Danny?
Finishing school, Mike. I'm still missing 3 years, but I am looking forward to finishing, to gain the degree and getting the job I want, which is an editor. I want to work as an editor. So that's what I'm aiming for.
Go, Danny, go.
Yes, thank you.
What about you, Carmen?
Well, again, I'm going to steal an answer. I literally thought about the same. Like right now, I just want to finish school. Like that's my biggest goal right now.
All right. Fair enough. And we did it. We did it. Once again, I appreciate your presence here. Thank you so much for participating. And like I always say, you're always welcome in the Let's Talk show. Wow.
Thank you, Mike.
You're very welcome. And for our viewers, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, you can catch a fresh new episode of the Let's Talk show every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Danny was with us. Carmen was with us. Eric Rios was in the controls. Poncho was in charge of editing. I am Mike. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bye.